Hello, it's Derek the Guitarist. Today we're going to be talking about our left hand technique here. And this video is pretty much left hand agility, so how freely you can move on the neck of the guitar with your left hand. So this relates to playing scales and soloing, and it also relates to chord changes, so like how fast you can go from one chord to the next. So this is a really good tip. It helped me because this is something that I struggled with when I was learning how to play guitar. So I guarantee you, if you take the time to listen and learn this tip or trick, it'll help you dramatically. Dramatically, is that the right word? Dramatically. So the secret to the left hand and being very agile and fluid with it is the neutral position. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Basically, your left hand needs to be in a relaxed position. So how do we get to a relaxed position? So you're going to put your hand out in front of you and you're just going to open it up. Just like that. So I'll demonstrate that again. Closed, and then we're just going to release the tension. Again, close the hand and release the tension. Now by just releasing the tension like this, our fingers are curled. Now this is very different from closing your hand and then extending your fingers open and not letting it just open up by itself. This is what we don't want. So this is closing our hand and extending our fingers open, which we don't want. And what we want is to close our hand and just release the tension. And it brings us to this left hand neutral position. So I'll show that again. I'm closing my hand and I'm just letting it open up by itself. Now this is our left hand neutral position. If we have this, we plug it in here on the neck of the guitar, we have our neutral position on the neck of the guitar, and this is what we want. We want to start from this position before playing a chord and between our chord changes. So I'll demonstrate that. I'm going to play my C chord here. So our C chord here is 2nd string 1st fret, 4th string 2nd fret, and 5th string 3rd fret. We have our C chord. And I'm planting my fingers in. So what I want to do, before doing that actually, is be in that neutral position where I'm letting it open up and be in this very natural state, neutral position, and then I'm going to plant my fingers into that C chord. Neutral position, C chord. Neutral position, C chord. Neutral position, C chord. So try that with me if you have a guitar. Try going from a neutral position. Again, that's just allowing your fingers to open up, putting that on the neck of the guitar, being in that neutral position, and then plugging in your chord. In this case, a C chord. Neutral position, C chord. Do that a few times. Get used to that sensation. Neutral position, plant, neutral position, plant, neutral position, plant. Now, when we're going from one chord to the next, we want to adopt that same concept. So neutral position, C chord, neutral position, D chord. Okay? So our D chord here is 3rd string 2nd fret, 2nd string 3rd fret, and 1st string 2nd fret. So that's what the D chord is. So I went neutral position, C, neutral position, D. And I'm kind of just doing it in one motion here. Going from a neutral position, visualizing that chord, planting it in, neutral position, visualizing the next chord, and planting that in. So I'll do that with some strumming here. We have C, neutral position, D, neutral position, C, neutral position, D. And again, if you have a guitar, try that out. So this concept of going from one chord, from a neutral position, and then planting, to releasing, visualizing in the next chord, and planting that in, can be used for many other chords. We can use it for our major 7th chords. So we have neutral position, major 7th, we have a C major 7th chord here, neutral position, and say I want to go back to the D chord, I'm in this neutral position, and it allows me to quickly go to the next chord. So I can go D, neutral position, into the C major chord, C major 7 chord. Alright, so this tip is particularly useful for individuals that are struggling from going from one chord and trying to get to the next chord. Maybe you're trying to, move to a D chord, but your hand is really tense and tight, and like you're still very much in this C shape, but you're trying to get to this D shape, and it's really tough, but you manage to do it, but not so fluidly. And that's because you're not adopting that planted chord, neutral position, next chord. So I encourage you to do this slow at first, get used to that sensation of planted chord, neutral position, next chord, do it slowly, and over time it becomes really automatic and really fast. So you can go through a number of chords using this concept. It's a very helpful concept. I guarantee you it will help. So this concept of neutral position can also be used when playing scales, but I'll probably save that for another video. So if you liked this video and want similar content and just more of my content, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions. That's about it. God bless.